Hey all, happy Tuesday. I wanted to pop on, been doing some busy work and haven't done my face yet. Here it is almost 4 o'clock, p.m. So I thought I would just jump on, and a couple of days ago in my story, I asked if I were gonna come host a makeup class at your home, what are some things with your friends, what are some things that you would like for me to cover? And I got a lot. Hey, Kathy. I got a lot of comments, which is helping me to be able to make a list of content that I can help you with. So in the form of reels or posts or things here in my stories, being able to address those issues. And so I think that, and if you don't currently follow me, you might want to, because that's what's to come. But I thought I'll go ahead and jump on and address a couple of those things while I put on my makeup. And if you were one of those people that put a comment, thank you, because I don't know what you need unless you tell me. And then at which point I want to be able to help you. So if you don't use Seint makeup, I am a makeup artist for a makeup company called Seint. It's a cream makeup. However, if you are overseas, you're international, so you're not within the United States or Canada, you do not have the luxury of getting Seint yet. I don't know when that's going to be. We're told that it's going to happen, but we don't have a timeline. However, I hope that things that you learn here will be things that you can take with you with what you do have, what products you do have at your disposal. So first thing I want to talk about is priming. So if your skin is in ideal shape, you should not need a primer with Seint, okay? I consider my skin in really good shape. However, depending on what my day is going to look like will depend on whether or not I still prime my face. But if you know that your skin is not the greatest, then you need to prime your face. And, the more youthful that you are, the younger that we were, I would say maybe not. But the older that we are and we have a lot of texture on our face, I always recommend that you do prime. So I'm going to show you a couple of primers that work with this makeup. And there are more, okay? There are more than just what I'm showing you. Here's what I can tell you does not work. A primer that has a silicone ingredient as one of the ingredients near the top. So like dimethicone is the most common. Look at it. Look at your ingredients on your primer. If dimethicone is in it, then look where the ingredient comes, because you know the ingredients that they have more of are toward the top, okay? So that's what I would suggest. Check your ingredients first. But Milk Hydro Grip was the very first primer that I ever tried, and I love, love, love it, okay? It's great. It is a water-based primer. It does not have that. You will see a lot of makeup artists use this primer, okay? The next one that is very similar to Milk that works extremely well is e.l.f. So it's a fraction of the cost. You can get it at most drugstores. This one I believe is sold, it's either Ulta or Sephora, or maybe both. I got mine on Amazon. But e.l.f., it's called e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. So this one also works at a fraction of the cost. You can get it at most drugstores. Okay, the one that I have been using just because I love the really good ingredients that are in it is Pomifera BB cream. This is a BB cream. It has a slight tint to it. Hold on, I have my background blurred because the room is a mess. And this is in a level 3 shade, so that's what I'm using. And it has an SPF 30 built into it. So it kind of cuts out one step, although you should probably be using a little bit more SPF, but it does have an SPF. And I use this to prime my face. So I'm going to use that right now. And I'm going to use that underneath of my makeup. And you can see that it has a slight tint. It also has a little bit of a luminosity underneath or in it. And it has so many good ingredients in it. So that's what I'm loving right now. If you are interested in getting the link to the BB cream, just comment and I'll send that to you. I'll send you the link to the BB cream. Be happy to do that. All right. I really should pull my hair back, but I don't know. Oh, wait, I think I do. I have a rubber band. Spell the primer you're using. Pomifera, P-O-M-E-R, P-O-M-I-F-E-R-A, Pomifera. And they're all really, really good ingredients. All right, I'm just gonna. Blocking your pores, a moisturizer. That chances are is really an exfoliating issue, more so than a moisturizing issue. I suggest that maybe you look into a chemical exfoliant. I mean, Pomifera also has that, has a chemical exfoliant. I use the Dr. Gross peel pads. Those are a chemical exfoliant, not anything that's too abrasive. So, you know, back in the day, you used to look and see exfoliants and you could actually feel the grit in your hands. Those are not the kind that I would recommend for mature skin, really for any skin, because they can break through the skin barrier and do more damage than good. So I suggest that you use a chemical exfoliant and then tell me whether or not your moisturizer isn't working. How can you tell which number to get? It will give you like a color code. So it's like light to medium, medium, dark. But I'm a level 3. I always say go darker than what you think. That's me. Pomifera. I also use the moisturizer. There is a moisturizer called Nourish by Pomifera. And there is also one by Pharmacy that I use called Honey Halo. So if you want the links to any of those, I will give you the link for Pomifera because I'm a distributor. And if you just let me know that you want the link, I will send it to you. No problem. Okay. So let's do a little bit of makeup and then I'll be talking you through color correcting. So underneath of our eyes, we have stuff going on, right? I'm going to zoom in so you can see the stuff that I have going on. I have discoloration. I have, I don't know, this looks like a little age spot and sunspot. I didn't always have this, but it's getting darker and darker every day. I have some melasma going on up here. Lots of freckles, lots of age spots. So we want to tackle our spots, our discoloration in a different way with mature skin. We want to tackle it with color correcting. First and foremost, you're not going to find a makeup on this planet that gets rid of wrinkles, okay? There's not a makeup that is going to get rid of your wrinkles. So wrinkles and texture are something completely different. When we're talking about color correcting, we want to talk about looking to see what actually the color is that you see, okay? So like we always say our under eyes are so dark, but what truly is that darkness? Is it purple that you see? Is it blue that you see? Is it red that you see? Most of the time, the color that is actually coming through is blue or even purple, okay? And so you have to deal with that head on. If you look at, let me see if I can find my, just a second. If you can find, we're gonna look at the color wheel, okay? We're gonna look at the good old color wheel back from elementary art class. And it looks like this, okay? This is what you get, oh my gosh. don't know if you guys can see that. If you look at blue and purple and you follow it across the color wheel, you're going to see something from the red, orange, yellow family, but mainly the orange family, that is going to correct anything with blue. Even age spots, for the most part, have a lot of blue in them. So you have to just find the right color that's going to work. But gone are the days of taking a light concealer and applying it right over top of your dark spot and then thinking it's going to cover. It's just going to look gray underneath of that, especially if you're using a foundation that has like a yellow base to it. And many of us do have a yellow base to our skin. And it's either typically yellow or it's typically pink. I haven't given the under eye product name just yet, but I was introduced to this eye primer by Amazing Cosmetics. This is, it is an eye primer. It says on it that it's a line smoother primer. It has these little silver wheels on it. If you squeeze it a little bit, you can prime underneath of your eye. If you don't have this, or if you do not want it, and if you just let me know, I will send you the link. Or if you click on my picture and you go to the link in my bio, I have an Amazon storefront that has this in it. I also have an I have a link to all my Pomifera stuff. So if you click on my photo, you can go there to that link and you can find the link to all of this. Just write this down. So this is Amazing Cosmetics. This is the primer. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of primer underneath of my eyes. If you don't have, Demi is really great for under eye correction because it has 10% opacity. I'm just going to use regular 3D. I'm going to just use a lip and cheek color because what I want to show you is that regardless of where you are in this world, if you don't have access to Seint makeup, that you can use something that's in your makeup bag. And I think that's really, really important to note, is that my job here is to give you something that you can work with what you have today, that you can leave here being able to say, I don't need to buy a thing. I have something like that in my makeup bag. And if you were like me before Seint, before I was able to put all my whole face in here, I had heaping loads of stuff. Some of the stuff I didn't never use. So I primed underneath of my eyes. If you don't have this primer, use a moisturizer, use a facial oil, something in order to prime, because most of the time that's all crepey. It's going to dry out and then your makeup is going to stick. It's going to crease as the day goes on. So you want to make sure that you hydrate there. Okay. No, this is just the primer. We haven't gotten to the color correct. So step one is to prime those under eyes or get them ready, prep them. Whatever that is, hydrate them, use a primer underneath, use a setting spray underneath, whatever that means, gently prep them. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with a lip and cheek color, actually. That is called Frenchie. Let me grab it here. Maybe as soon as I find out where I put it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, so if you have anything from, Asian skin can be very tough to get right, but it should be something from this family. If you have dark skin, if you are dark skin, then you want to find something from this family, only darker. Okay, so find something from the orange, pink, and even like crossing over into the red family and experiment. All right, I'm going to take a wee little bit of Frenchie and I'm going to put it where I'm darkest. I'm so glad I happened to pop on so that you could watch too. So hopefully this is coming in handy for all of you. I have this blue vein that decides that it wants to pop out and rear its ugly head. I'm just going to tap a little bit of it there. I didn't have to apply it all over. I spot treated exactly where I need it. And the reason that I did that is because I only want to put product where I need it. The less product that you have, the less chance of creasing that you're going to have. And that's what I really like about cream, is that it doesn't dry down. It's like powders can dry down, and then as you layer product, it can look cakey. Okay, it can look like you're wearing makeup, and my goal is to not look like I'm wearing makeup. Okay, so I'm going to go in right over top of that age spot that gets darker every day, or just sometimes it doesn't even. Hey, Amy. Hi, nurse friends. All right, can I zoom in? I sure can. All right, that gets scary for me when I zoom in. All right, and I totally am just spot treating those areas. Now, I haven't touched my eyelids yet. See this melasma spot? I can totally, oh my gosh, my dog who has the coughing issue has decided to appear. Can you hear? She has a collapsed larynx. Oh, that sounds awful. Thank you, honey, if you can get her out of here. Oh, I just tapped on those areas. All right. You're not going to believe what this spot is right here. I burnt myself with the curling iron like 3 months ago, and it has left a scar. And it's almost healed now, but I'm going to go ahead and take that color and kind of prop it on there. Now, let's talk about what's going on right here for me. I just want you guys to see. I have so many age and sunspots. Now, I can think of this as I am going to want to cover each and every one. It's Frenchie, but I'm not going down that road. Like that's just too much. Like no. But I'm going to go ahead and look at the entire look at the end. So I'm going to apply my foundation too, which is also going to be able to, it's going to provide some coverage as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyelids. I saw somebody say, what do you do about your eyelids? Okay. You can tell my eyelids get really red and veiny and kind of purpley. This is Sigma Primer. It is in the color Persuade, but it is the best eye primer that I have found. And it helps your eyeshadow to last all stinking day. It does not crease. Again, this is in my Amazon storefront. So if you're looking for any of this stuff, all my favorites is always there. You click on my photo, you go to the link, and you'll see all the things come up. And it's in my Amazon storefront. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just dab this on my eye. And then I just take my ring finger and even it all out. So you can see already, like it took all the discoloration away. It brightened it. And it's also going to serve a purpose. If you want to, you can put it on your ring finger and then all over. Amy, you make sure that you tell all your friends to follow along so that they can get frequent tutorials. Or if you haven't already done their makeup, you probably need to be doing that right now to show them how good Seint is. All right. Oh, that was so sweet of your Seint rep to send you to me. All right. I don't know everything. I just know what works for me and what works for people that I have put makeup on. All right. So let's recap what I've done so far. To prep my face, I put a primer on with an SPF in it. Either way, you want to do both of those steps. Make sure that your primer does not have a silicone ingredient. These are only sold in America or in the United States, but the tips that I'm giving hopefully will be something that you can carry with you from here and use what you have in your country or in your own makeup bag. All right, I am color correcting the blue and the purple with a color that has an orange pink, depending on what your skin tone looks like. And I color corrected the inner corners of my eyes and this area right here. Let me address eye bags because I did see that come up. So eye bags, if I look down, you can see this dark trough right here. In order to distract from your eye bags, you want to treat that trough. Okay, so for me, my eye bags are not overwhelming. I can live with them. But if they are bugging you, you can take Frenchie or that color and place it just in that shadow. Okay, and then what that's going to do is you can apply your main highlight over top, and it's that shadow that emphasizes the eye bag. Okay, and you can even brighten that as well too, but we'll talk about that as we move forward. My melasma spots, I took that color and tapped on them as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and apply my main highlights. My main highlight is actually a mixture of two. I'm right now mixing Athens and Hazel, and I dab into both. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in where I want coverage. Okay, so that might not mean that I have to do every ounce of my face. It might just mean that I want it in certain areas. And look what I'm doing. It's going over top of Frenchie. It's going over top of that color corrector. I'm going to go in and grab just some with my finger because it warms up to the skin. And I'm going to tap it right over top. So take a look at what's happened. I literally got rid of the darkness by color correcting first and then placing my main highlight over it. It left. It's gone. Okay, there might be some spots shining through, but let's think about this. I'm 54. Is my under eye going to look perfect? No, but I just want to make sure that I have addressed that the best that I can. Okay, unless you're going to go under some steep procedures, sometimes it's just finding a happy medium that works. Okay, and then I'll do that right over here as well. I can't always see your comments. So I'm sorry if I'm not addressing them. They don't always roll like I thought they would. Now I'm using the powder brush, which is a brush that, not gonna lie, I don't use very much because I don't use powder. And I assumed that it was for powder only. It's not. It's pretty dang good. All of the brushes are great. But it has this flat end. So in the areas that you want to press the makeup in, which in this particular case, I don't want to move the makeup underneath of my color corrector around. I don't want to. I want to leave that in place. If I were to shift it, it might shift the color correction around, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going in where I want coverage, which is around those areas of my sunspots, my age spots. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a fluffier brush. This is the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just going to lightly blend all of that in so that it looks more like my skin. And I'm going to take a beauty blender and also go over top of it. The eye primer is Sigma, and if you click on my photo, then you will see my Amazon storefront linked, and you will see all of my favorite stuff there. Even this under eye primer by Amazing, it's there too. Found it on Amazon. I have to tell you, I get a lot of products sent to me. You know, will you try this? Will you try that? And sometimes I say, no thanks, I don't really want to try that. And sometimes, most of the time, I say, absolutely, I would love to try it. I'll try anything. But I don't try it for just a day before I share it and say, I love it. I try it, and I try it, and I try it. And I try it with different things to make sure that before I make a recommendation that it's going to work. So I just want you to know that I don't take all of that lightly. Like I'm blessed that people will want me to try it, but they also need to know that I'm not going to recommend it if I don't feel like it's worth recommending to you. Okay, so I went ahead and now I've color corrected. Now I'm going to go ahead in and add dimension to my face. And if we were going to add dimension to our face, we want to add a darker color. That comes in the form of contour. I am using this color right now called Cedar, which it's a brand new contour and it is the best. Like I truly love Cedar. So if you are a Seint user and you're wanting to add another color to another contour color, Cedar is probably it. If you're Goddess or darker, Cedar won't show up. But if you are lighter than Goddess, it's a really great color. Again, I'm using the powder brush. It has this really dense kind of, it has like this little lift at the end of the brush. So it's also great for contour. And then you can flick up just like that. Flick, 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 flick. Flick on back. It doesn't take much. And then you can do this little patting motion so that it looks natural. So we're adding depth and dimension to our face. You do that by adding contour, which then is going to make areas that you want recede look like they're receding, which is your cheekbones. That's how you make them pop. All right, same thing. We're going to go into the other side. Okay, and then flick up. And then we're going to go ahead and add some contour to my hairline. I do not contour my temple area because that area is already looking hollow. So if I recede that, it's going to make it look more and more hollow. If you have a rounder face, by all means, you might want to do your temples. But if you have a long, narrow face and you're losing collagen, you're losing elasticity, it's starting to hollow out there, don't contour there. And you can determine how much you actually need. Let me go ahead in with a little bit more. Now remember, I color corrected that melasma. I wouldn't have had to. I just wanted to show you how to, but I wouldn't have had to because my contour is kind of covering that up. All right, so why put more makeup in an area that you don't need? All right, and now I'm gonna go ahead and contour my jaw. When you contour jowls, see this area is hanging. You start from where it starts to hang and you go on back. Okay, you leave that little dimple right in the front. Leave it blank, don't contour there. Okay, you want to recede this area to make it look like it is receding back. It's all about the distraction, right? Let me see if I'm missing. Thank you guys for helping anybody else who jumps. Yeah, Frenchie is good for skin lighter than mine. Yeah, and Seint palette, Seint double-ended powder brush. Yes, all from Seint. Again, you guys can grab any link that you need if you click on my picture, or you can wait till after the live is over, make a list, and I'll DM you whatever it is that you need. All right, so now let's go ahead and contour my nose. I'm going to turn the powder brush this way, and it makes this nice little, I don't know, it's almost really thin little stripe, and I'm going just inside of that natural shadow. A common misconception when you contour your nose is that in order to slim it, you want to go on the sides. Don't do that. It's going to make your nose appear larger. The skinnier that you can keep this little line through here is better. Now, if you want to make your, you would probably want to try Cedar. If you're thinking that like you want maybe a tad warmer contour, Astoria is a pretty cool contour. It's more gray. So if you want to make your nose appear wider, then widen that. Absolutely. So just think about the dark color in terms of receding a particular area. All right, so then let's go in now with accent highlight. And I am a finger girl for accent highlight, okay? You'll see different artists use brushes for different things, okay? But around my eye area, I am extremely careful that I don't get too much product. And I love the fact that my finger is warm and my face is warm. So therefore, I can make this as thin as possible. And I don't need very much product. So this is the sweet spot right here for me. No more of the big triangle. And then the outer corner. Hold on. I'm using the wrong color. I was wondering, like, why is this not light? I was using a darker highlight, which is not a big deal. I'm just gonna take it and take my beauty blender. It's like almost, the sun's almost down here, so nothing is really bright. If I turn on a light in my room, it will give me a really wonky color, and this is natural, almost natural light. Let's try this again. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this area right here is the sweet spot. And you can go all the way back to your hairline if you want. Okay, now here's where we need to make the judgment call. What's going on between here? If you have a lot going on there, don't put your accent highlight there, okay? If you have deep 11s, if you have a lot of texture, don't subject yourself to accentuating them. Don't put a lighter color there, just keep it darker. So I'm gonna go underneath of it, like right at the top of my nose, and I'm gonna bring it right down in between that contour, just like that. All right. Now, you may have seen some artists who will take a little swath, is that a word, swath? I feel like it's a word, and pull it just like this. That's a thing, you could do that. That's like an instant facelift. Okay, and I'll show you how that works in just a minute when we blend. But for purposes of this being easy, I just wanted to show you those main areas. My color level as a collection is level 4. Okay, again, a level 4 collection. You can get them already pre-made. However, it doesn't have, I use different colors in between there, but like for all intents and purposes, if you're like, what colors are you using? I'm using a level 4 collection. Again, if you go to my photo, click on it, you'll see the shopping link there. You can grab it there. All right, so Beauty Blender, my best friend when it comes to anything around my eyes. And this Beauty Blender does not need to be wet. But other beauty blenders, like let's just say like this one, I would run it under water, squeeze it really hard, and then use it. This one is by a different company called Stands Out, and it can be used either damp or dry, which I love because most of the time I sit down to do my makeup, not in my bathroom, and I'm like, crap, I forgot to wet my beauty blender. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's do some bronzing, and then we're going to add color. Okay, so I'm going to dip into my, with my blush and bronzer brush, this fluffy end, into this bronzer, and it's called High Tides. And I'm just going to lightly warm up where the sun would naturally hit me, which is the highest points, okay? The highest points of your face. That's where the sun hits you. Now, if you have never seen this makeup before and you're in the United States or Canada, I will color match, and color match, and color match all the time you to find colors that are perfect for your skin tone. So all you've got to do is comment color match, and you will get a link from me, and then I will send you back recommendations. You may or may not take them, but if you do decide, they will be colors that will match your skin tone. It's kind of funny because you just send me a selfie in light just like this, not at midnight laying in your bed. Okay? Don't send me a random picture on your phone. Step in front of a window, makeup free, and send it to me. Your photo is entirely safe. Like, it goes nowhere. I share no information. I would never do that. That's just not right. Would never do that. Okay, so now I've added color, or I've added bronzing. You can also take that bronzer and pull it down onto your neck. This is the blush and bronzer brush, because nobody wants a floating face, right? Nobody wants a floating face. That just looks weird. Okay, now let's talk about lip and cheek colors. So I build myself a palette 12. That's what this is. Holds 12 large tins. I put like foundation shades, bronzer, highlighter, contour, lip and cheek colors, illuminator. I didn't put any eyeshadows in this one. But if you look at my lip and cheek shades, you will see that I have two that look really bold. This is called Stands Out. Again, it's in that link. And I think there's a code there that you can get 20% off of it. Stands Out is the name of it. It feels like a memory foam mattress, but you can manipulate it and like tap on it in that area that you need it. Okay, I absolutely love it. So this is Black Cherry. This looks horrendously dark in the tin, but one thing that you need to know about creams is they are extremely pigmented, so it requires very little, but yet they look so sheer on, especially this one is a semi-gloss, so it looks so sheer on. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to show you by using my finger, and I'm applying it right over top of that contour line, okay? Now, that's how dark it looked in the tin. This is how dark it looks on the face. It's one of our biggest sellers. But it's because artists recommend it, because we truly know how beautiful it looks on the skin. But I wish I had $1 for every time somebody messaged me and say, Kim, I think you've just chosen the too dark of a color for me. Yeah. So this is Black Cherry. And it truly looks beautiful on every skin tone. Dark, light, warm, cool. It truly looks beautiful on every skin tone. So let's do the other side. Same thing. So it's one of my go-to colors in fall and winter, and also, around the holidays. And then you can add different shades to it as well, like mixing it with pink, which I'm going to do for you so that you guys can see what that does as well. I'm going to jump in with the multitasker brush. Where are you? There you are. Okay, this is the multitasker brush. It has a flat end and a skinny end, a small end. Let me wipe it off. I'm not sure what I was into last. And I'm going to use this lip liner. It's called Suede, but I could also use my contour to line my lips. And I really just contour or line my lips right here in that shadow. That's it, just there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to give my upper lip a little bit of shape. I envy those of you that have full lips. And as we get older, our lips get thinner too. So I'm going to take Black Cherry. Oh yes, the sponge definitely blends better around the eyes than the brush, because it helps to be able to press it. It'll press the makeup in, and it will help to pick up excess. And the brush won't really do that in the same way, in the same manner. Okay, so that's Black Cherry on my lips. Look how dark, but look what it looks like on here. Then I'm going to go into this color called Dahlia. That looks really bright. And I'm going to mix it with Black Cherry. And then we have this Shazam color that I love. Okay, so that's Black Cherry and Dahlia. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of Dahlia right on the apples of my cheeks, because I like color on my cheeks. And as we get older, we tend to look more sallow, right? We wake up, a lot of it depends on your hydration from the day before, or you know, just how you're feeling in general. But most of the time, we are losing our color. And so this looks like a very natural color. Now, one thing that you won't see a lot is the use of an illuminator on mature skin in a different way. And I'm about ready to show you how I use an illuminator in a different way. So I'm taking that fluffy brush again. I'm going to dab in my illuminator, and I am going to place it the same place that I placed the bronzer. Okay, on the higher points. And all this is doing is it's giving me a really, like a dewy kind of glow. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so that you guys can see exactly what this is doing. All right, it's almost like, it's truly like, I don't know. It's like, it looks like healthy skin. And if your skin is not just healthy on its own, this will help give that healthy, dewy look. Just a little bit of illuminator. This illuminator is called Nova. It's new. My favorite illuminator that I use most often is Rose Gold. I love Angel. So there are plenty to choose from, but use a cream illuminator. There are other powder illuminators, so I recommend that you use a cream. This is makeup by a company called Seint, S-E-I-N-T. All right, so let's go ahead and do some eyes only. I am going to be using shades from the new Advent calendar, okay? And for those of you that aren't familiar with Seint, we have one compact makeup. Your entire face, whatever it is, you put whatever you need into one compact. This is a brand new one that we have released. And then we had 12 new eyeshadows that were released in an Advent calendar. Okay, so cool. I don't want to scare you with the price, but here it is because, you know, full transparency. This Advent calendar is $125. Some of you are like, whoa, wait, okay, but that is still a savings off of buying each individual shade, which doesn't exist. These are all brand new shades. You cannot get these shades individually at all anyway. But it is at a savings because each eyeshadow is $14 and you get 12. So do the math. All right, this is $125. And these are one-of-a-kind eyeshadows. They were all given brand new names, and these are it. 7 matte and 5 shimmers. And I'm going to do a look with the new ones. So looking at what I have to work with as far as a base shade. And so whenever you jump into an eyeshadow look, you want to find one that is going to be a base shade. That's an all over shade that is just going to be a place to be able to place the next shades on top of. So we primed my eyelids with Sigma primer. Sigma primer, okay? This is Sigma. And now we're gonna go in with the first shade, and I'm going to use the eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna use the eyeshadow brush. It has a bigger fluffy end, and then it has a more tapered end. I'm gonna use the fluffy end because I can cover a lot of real estate, and also because it diffuses the color. So it won't, you dab so that it won't put too much color in a particular area. And I'm just going to fill that in, starting with my crease, moving down to my lid, staying more so in the outside of my lid, and then building it on up. Not quite to my brow. The reason being is because this does have color to it. So, and it is a darker color. I want to leave directly under my brow lighter. Same thing on the other side. And if you have textured eyelids, then you're going to want to make sure that you're doing and filling in, you're doing this motion, you're tapping, you're filling in all of the cracks and crevices. Because when you, if you're using your open eye, when you close it, make sure that you don't have any skips in your color. You guys know, those of you that have textured eyelids, you know exactly what I mean. Okay. So if you open your eyes when you first start to apply your color, okay, that's brilliant, you should. The reason being is so that you can see what your color is going to look like to the human eye that's looking at you, okay? But then make sure you close it to make sure there's no skips in your color, and then you can fill it in. Okay, let me see what else, if you guys have any more comments. Just make sure that, I'm sorry, I don't always see comments, so my apologies. All right, so that is Dream. Yeah, that's the color Dream. Part of the new advent calendar. All right, the next color that we have been asking a lot for is a gray, and this is Waltz. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my brush over and I'm gonna use Waltz, and I'm going to concentrate on this outer corner for Waltz. All right, so I'm gonna make this kind of V right here. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm gonna look in the mirror, and I wanna see if I need to take that V further up or out. But I don't want to extend past my brow, okay? And I don't want to extend past the corner of my eye, right? And then I can just come right up from the corner of my eye and make that meet. So this is a pure gray, but I can totally see how this would work with like lavender or purple, couldn't you? Okay, so that's Waltz. And I want you to see how I ended up lifting this eye. Okay, so if you just compare this eye to this eye, it already appears more lifted. A lot of it has to do with your technique and your eye shape. Okay, so I'm going to fill in. It can't, and none of these colors can be purchased on their own. Okay, but again, if you have a gray in your makeup stash, this could be a look that you could still do. Okay, or go grab a gray color or purchase the advent calendar. All right, I want to make sure straight on that I'm even. I'm going to go out just a little bit more and up. You're so welcome. All right. If you, I would love it if you would share this so that other people can see. The eyeshadows are powder. There's my dog again. And your father is somewhere else, not watching you. I use Erase by Pomifera to take my makeup off at night, and a microfiber cloth. Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to dabble in Oona. Oh my gosh, Oona. Can we just look at Oona for a second? So I'm going to take Oona, because it's a shimmer, on my finger. And Oona is going on my movable lid. So it's going right here on the lid. If there is any place that I believe that mature women can wear shimmer, it's right here. Right where you can feel your eyeball. My dog really is okay. I promise. Kelly. Okay. So that's Oona. All right, now what I feel like I need is a darker color to kind of bring all of these together. So I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna use this color called Eternal. Okay, it's amazing how dark the colors look on, but they are very light, right? And a lot of it has to do with the brush and the intensity. Like, eyeshadow colors can be very, very dark, but you don't have to apply anything dark. Okay, you can diffuse any color to be the color that the desired intensity that you're looking for. All right. How do you feel about the cloths that take makeup off without liquid? Not a fan. They don't remove all. I mean, it's okay if you use it just to take off your makeup, but don't use it. I don't recommend them to use it as a cleanser or only. Like, you would need to take another step and cleanse beyond that. All right, so this is Eternal, and I'm gonna grab Eternal and darken up my crease just a little bit. Okay, now this, so this is 4 shades. And then I'm gonna use Eternal, and I'm gonna bring it right down as my eyeliner, really lightly. Okay. Just darkening up that outer corner. And then I will bring it on down. I always use the excess to pull it down so that it's not too bold under my eyes. I like a very light eyeshadow or eyeliner look underneath. Okay, I'm just trying to see exactly what I need to do. Okay, I'm gonna take the eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna blend all of this in. Sometimes the fewer shades, the better that you use. And then I'm gonna go in with a color that is not in the advent calendar. Actually, what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and use, this is called the Etch Brush, and it's brand new brush. It has this small end, and then it has a flat brush on it. So this flat brush is really good for lining up underneath, or you could line the top. You can smudge with the other end. I'm gonna use it with my accent highlight, and I'm going to line underneath of my brow. Okay, so again, you want to keep that area bright. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more right here. And lighten. And then we're going to do it the other way. Oops, let me turn that over. Okay. And then inside the eye here, just to keep it lighter. And since that's a cream, I'm just going to go ahead and tap. Let's go ahead and add, I'm going to use an eyeshadow or a mascara primer, or you can also do this with your setting powder. But this is a mascara primer. If you've never tried a primer before, it looks really white. It gives your mascara something to grab onto and will make your lashes look longer. Okay, and let's give it a second to dry. What other questions do you guys have? I use Palmafera cleanser. It is called Daily Cleanser. Yep, you got it. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you guys are here for real. Under eye bags, I mentioned that earlier, and you can't see my bags now because I color corrected, but there is this trough right here. That's what you want to treat and color correct. So glad that you guys... The brand of the lash primer, this is actually L'Oreal Lash Paradise. That's what brand that is. I also use a lash serum it's called Lash Therapy by Hello Skincare. It's also in that link in my bio, but it has done wonders on my lashes as far as making them long. Menopause has done really weird things with my lashes, and my hair was falling out for a while, and so I'm gonna back up here just so you guys don't have to. And I got mascara right here, but if you ever get mascara somewhere, let it dry first before you do anything with it, because it'll come right off. But let it dry. All right. The lash product I just put on was an eyelash primer by L'Oreal. It is called, what did I just say? Yeah, Lash Paradise. You can buy it at any drugstore, but there's primers all over. If you haven't tried a primer, try it, because it really makes a big difference. And then this mascara is Thrive. My absolute favorite. I've tried a lot of them. It's a tubular mascara, so it wraps each lash. And then I just tap barely on my bottom lashes. I don't coat them. They're short, and I don't have many, so if I try to make it look like I have some, all I'm doing is emphasizing the fact that they're short and I don't have very many. Okay, so let's look here at this mascara smudge right here. I'm just gonna take, this is actually a new brush from Seint too. It's in travel form, but it's a little spoolie, anything with a spoolie end, and you can just kind of take your spoolie and it gets the mascara right off. So now what do? Well, we are going to set the makeup, okay? And if you are looking to have your makeup last all day, then you're going to want to set it. There are, again, tons of great setting sprays out there. I love a couple different ones. This is Thrive Insta Makeup Fix. Charlotte Tilbury has a great one. This one is really light, which is why I like it. I don't know, like sometimes the spray bottle of some of them like literally just shoots you in the face and soaks you. I don't like that. So another way of applying setting spray is by spraying it on your beauty blender, just like that, and applying your setting spray this way. And it's kind of doing double duty in that you are picking up any excess and kind of just putting the finishing touches on your makeup, or you can spray it all over. Seint has a setting spray. This one is called NYX. It is called Bear With Me. It's an all-purpose spray, so you can use it to prime and set. And then, so yeah, there's, again, the key to good setting sprays and good primers is not having a silicone ingredient in them. Okay, so I'm all about keeping as clean ingredients as I possibly can. That goes for lip color, that goes for skincare. That's really important to me, and it will continue to be important to me, especially as I age. So thank you guys for joining me. Wow, the majority of you guys have just stayed on here since I came on, which is crazy. So hopefully you learned a little something along the way. Please make sure, I would love it if you would just share this video so that it can maybe help somebody else who's having some makeup hurdles to cross. And thank you for following me. If you don't currently follow me, you might want to click follow because there's lots more where this came from. Happy Tuesday.